Did you know that there is over $1 trillion spent on fruit and over $100 billion spent picking it each year around the world? There's also a lot of waste. Over $100 million worth of apples are wasted on farms each year in Australia. People are currently the only option to pick this fruit, but they're really hard to find. They damage the fruit and they often injure themselves as well. For us to feed billions more people around the world, we need to change how we produce and harvest fruit, moving from a wasteful, disconnected process to an autonomous, resourceful, and integrated system that leverages data to improve yield and reduce waste. We are one of the first companies in the world to be doing this for tree fruit, taking advantage of recent developments in edge computing, artificial intelligence, and new forms of remote connectivity. We are building a commercial robot that will be able to pick fruit better, cheaper, and faster than a human, and we've already overcome many of the technical barriers to scaling this technology. The industry is also desperate for our solution. We have already signed up 3 pilot customers with $1.4 million in potential revenue and grown a waiting list worth over $100 million per year in just harvesting revenue. This includes some of the biggest names in the business. And we're just scratching the surface. We've barely done any marketing to get to this point. We've also assembled a team of technical and industry experts who have demonstrated experience building, commercializing, and scaling complex technology systems. We've just oversubscribed our seed round, and we are growing our team of world-class engineers. We are picking the future in an industry that touches every single one of us. If you want to be part of this journey as an employee, an investor, or a customer, contact us at riperobotics.com. Thank you.
Hey team, amazing. So many good puns to use here, but I want to start with you. One of the things I learned a lot about working with you is robotics as a service. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, sure. So robotics as a service is great. It means that the growers don't need to commit to buying our machines. They just pay us for the fruit that we pick, pay by the bin. That means we can move the machines to where they're needed as the seasons change and we pick different fruit varieties. And it also aligns our incentives with the growers. So we care about getting the fruit picked at the best time and quality rather than about selling machines.
And you've taken a modular approach rather than make a huge machine. What's the advantages of that for you?
Yeah, so modularity is super important because it's very important to be able to upgrade the machines after they're built. We've got if you have a fleet in the field and you want them to be doing pruning or thinning or something other than picking, you need to be able to go in and change the end effector easily for these other tasks. And we can do that on any part. We can do that with any part on the machine. We also want to make the machines as small as possible. So we're not trying to get one machine to pick the entire orchard. We're better off using a whole fleet to do that. That way, if one breaks down or if there's an issue, it doesn't hold up the entire harvest for that farmer for that year. More machines also lets us gather more data, which means we can iterate on the design faster.
And Leo, you've had so much interest from farmers around the world. Why is Ripe better than the current model?
The current model is really just very inefficient and wasteful. And I think there's a lot that we can do to benefit farmers, consumers, and the environment around the world. So farmers, they struggle to get people every year. They charter flights. In Australia, they have visa programs, but it's a global problem as well in the US and many other countries. People who pick the fruit damage it a lot. 1 in 10 apples that are picked are damaged by humans, which devalues them by 90%. And people get injured when they're picking. So there's a lot of issues for farmers there. So our robots will be able to pick, with precision and consistency to ensure minimal loss to the farmers and maximum revenue. For the environment, by reducing the amount of loss and waste, we can benefit that because obviously that results in the production of methane. And there's over $100 billion worth of fruit lost every year, which is just a huge amount to think about. And then for consumers, by having precision robotics, you can get people to get the fruit picked off the tree cheaper. They can have more nutritious food as well. So it's a win-win-win for everyone.